Man, a big Steeler, a big football player, a big wrestler. Ernie Holmes, who hits that scale somewhere around 300 pounds and comes from Weirgate, Texas. There's Ernie. You recognize that head of his and that arrow head that is up there from seeing him many times on national television as he played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. His opponent is Killer Brooks. And Brooks is going to have his hands full because anytime you're in with a guy the size of Big Ernie, you're going to have your hands full. Now, Ernie is going to be making a bid to become a prize fighter after tonight's match. He is going to be leaving Houston and going to a training camp for prize fighters. But he wanted to finish this match here with Brooks after the big argument that happened in this ring last week. So we've got Ernie Holmes now facing Killer Brooks, and whoa, man, when Holmes hit that turnbuckle, he hit. And here is Brooks, who is a tough customer and is bound to leave his mark on Big Ernie Holmes. And Holmes now coming in with a little body punishment and a headbutt, and he's got Brooks hung up in the ropes. And Ernie did not take advantage of what may be his biggest opportunity for the night when Holmes got hung up in those ropes. Brooks moving in for a standing arm lock, but Ernie beat him to it. And now you can see the flow of the action as Brooks manages to get the hold. Size of the legs on Ernie Holmes indicate that the more proficient he becomes in wrestling, the more he's going to use those legs and use them to good advantage. Right now, he used that arm to good advantage. It was actually the pressure of his arm that flipped him back there. The man outside is Gary Hart, who feels humiliated over the fact that Ernie lifted him up at arm's length in the air last week and held him there. He blames Tiger Conway Jr. for it. Jr. may have instigated it. You can bet your boots on that. He would take the opportunity. And a bear hug with Ernie Holmes using the wraparound, and the bear hug is working. The bear hug is working, and Gary Hart is screaming on the microphone, and we may have problems. It sounds to me like he is trying to call Maniac Mark Lewin to save the bacon of Killer Brooks, and Brooks is looking for a little help, and here we've got Maniac Mark Lewin in the ring as he roars down, and here comes Tiger Conway Jr. to get in the corner of Ernie Holmes, and the crowd here in an uproar as Ernie Holmes now shakes off the punishment and indicates what he is going to hand out to Killer Brooks. A driving blow with the point of that arrow, and he drove it in there. Big Ernie Holmes, and he's backed up now by Tiger Conway Jr. and the bear hug. And this is he's got his feet clear. There is Maniac Mark Lewin in the ring. We've got the match now coming to a screaming halt as Lewin gets in the ring, and he's trying to set Lewin up for Holmes. Tiger Conway Jr., who wants nothing more than the chance to take Maniac Mark Lewin apart anyway, and Conway, notice in the background that Killer Brooks is being held out of this argument as Conway goes after Mark Lewin. He's going to get Mark Lewin here next Friday night anyway, but he is just taking a piece of him right now as they try to gang up on Ernie Holmes, and the match has been awarded to Ernie on a disqualification, but he is not satisfied with it. There it is. The victory goes to from all the countries around the world. In this case, from Korea comes Pak Song Nam. From Chicago, Gary Hart.
Let me say I'm international. I've been everywhere. I've seen the very best. I know the greatest wrestlers and I know the greatest martial art experts. And of all the greats, there stands one name all through Asia. Pak Song Nam, former bodyguard to President Park Chung-hee. This man that you see standing here destroyed a 1,650-pound bull with 3 blows from his hand. You people in the very near future will have an opportunity to see this man in action. You may not be able to go to the Louvre, you may not be able to go to the Super Bowl, but you have the ability to see one Pak Song Nam Paul Boesch, the greatest martial arts expert in the world.
Well, this is one wrestler that Gary Hart has managed, whom he does not claim to have created.
You cannot create a Pak Song Nam. Generation after generation, knowledge handed down by 6 generations. That's what Pak Song is. Pak Song has a bloodline, and he's the most destructive thing in wrestling. 6 generations, Paul Boesch. 6.
6. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Look.
And Lewin, who can always be depended upon to do the unexpected, manages to follow Tiger Conway and to deliver a wallop from which Tiger Conway may have difficulty in recovering. Lewin, assuming the unusual attitude, he's got a cigarette in his hand, which is what he picked up from the floor, and it has he does not have it anymore. Tiger Conway Jr. in trouble as that he holds on to that eye, and I have no doubt what happened to the eye. So, oh man, what a driving wallop, and Lewin has managed to not to dent the head of Tiger Conway Jr., but he sure must have given him something to think about. And now as he pounds away with those the edge of the hand blows, he has Tiger sinking to his knees, which is an unusual sight. He has never been known to yield to the blows to the head. And Tiger is bleeding, and bleeding badly. Blood spattering all over the place here as the Maniac moves in on him and seems to take delight in the fact that he has the Tiger bleeding badly, blood running down his face, down his chin, down his chest, and it's in his eyes too. I have no doubt about that. That's why he was swinging at whoever he could feel near him, and in this case it happened to be the referee. But Nick was smart enough to get out of the way and realize what was happening. So Lewin, with a worried look on his face, suddenly realizes that Conway here has been roused. The Tiger has really come to life, and the Tiger starts moving in on him. And Lewin is, maniac though he may be, is smart enough to know an aroused tiger when he sees one. And listen to the uproar in this Coliseum here as he blasts away at the maniac. A driving crash. And that was with a forearm, and stomp it right in the midsection. There's one, there's two, there's three, and we've got a 3 count. And the bleeding tiger lies on the canvas here.
3 minutes, 13 seconds, Maniac Mark Lewin.
There's Tiger Conway, a hurt man right now. And Maniac Mark Lewin, who knows he's been in a match. Young Tiger. And Tiger's in trouble. He is being attacked from at the same area that gave him trouble before. He is trying to rise up right now, but now he looks like he's getting a little clearer picture of what's happening. And now as he starts up, he looks like he's getting a little more strength. And Lewin is hanging on almost desperately right now to that hold that has done him so much good. And Tiger Conway comes to life beautifully here as he starts driving away. And Hart made a mistake. No, Hart distracted young Tiger Conway. And he's got him hung up. He drove it into the throat as he hung on the ropes, and we're going to have a disqualification. Mark Lewin hung him in the ropes and then drove that thrust into the... Here comes Tiger Sr. And he starts to clear the ring. Tiger Conway's father in there and trying to clear the ring, and we've got big Mike Richards coming into that ring. And Mike is supposed to wrestle Gary Hart. And an aroused father who was recently the victim of an attack by Maniac Mark Lewin. Valentine, who last week had a tremendous battle with Tiger Conway Jr. And Greg, we saw a new side of you, but something tells me that it was more like your brother John used to wrestle.
Well, that's because you've watched my brother wrestle many, many years, Paul. When we have to get tough, we have to get rough. That's exactly what we do in the ring, because the main object is to win that match. Just like tonight, I'm going up for the Texas state title, the most prestigious title of all state titles. David Von Erich, I'm going to give you the wrestling lesson of your life. You can guarantee on that. You know, I don't enjoy flying all the way down from New York City down here and then have a decision like happened last week. I was robbed. I had Tiger Conway's shoulders pinned right down to the mat. 1, 2, 3. And it's disgusting. It disgusts me, Paul, that they come up with an ending to a match like this, which should have been awarded to me. I'm going to take all the revenge that I have for Tiger Conway right out on that pea brain of David Von Erich, the so-called Texas champion. He's just going to have to fork the belt right over. If I have to, like I said last week, I'm going to slap that figure 4 leg lock right on David Von Erich's legs. And let me tell you something. A figure 4 leg lock exactly describes itself. It is a lock. It cannot be broken. Remember that, David Von Erich? You're looking at the next Texas state champion.
Thank you. Greg